for now, seeing these lockdown restrictions continue and continue and continue. Mike and I decided weeks ago to press on, providing with some fun segments about our favourite records and why we love them so much. All this week we've been looking at rivalries. Before we started this today's episode, please like us on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as keep those comments coming through and share this love for our episodes with your friends as we create this cult of records here on Two Old Guys and Their Records. Great Rivalries, were they really bitter, acrimonious, or were they just, friendly competitiveness? We've looked at both sides thus far. For this one, we're going back to the 1980s, back to Britain, and into the alternative rock scene, which was very, very niche at that time. Again, it was a small market, sort of branching out as these bands were experimenting a little bit more with styles and moving slowly into mainstream. But at that point, very, very niche. And both bands did have, in one case, very distinctive vocalists with great voices. I mean, if you heard them on the radio, you knew exactly who they were. I'm talking about The Cure and The Smiths. Like I said, two very, very iconic British bands of the 1980s. What was the rivalry like? To be honest with you, having read up on this, it looks like a media beater between the two vocalists, Morrissey and Robert Smith. It dates back to Morrissey's interview by The Face magazine in 1984, when they said if you were in a room with a loaded gun and you had Robert Smith and some other guy, I forget what his name was, who would you shoot first? And he says Robert Smith. And then he makes some sort of comment that Robert Smith started wearing flowery shirts and beads after he saw the Smiths' look. And then, of course, Robert Smith replies to this in another interview, and he sort of says, he is such a depressing person, that is Morrissey, and if he doesn't off himself, I will. And then fast forward to 1989, and again, Robert Smith fuels the fire when he sort of says, Morrissey, he's so precious, so miserable. Every time he opens up his mouth, he sings the same song. At least The Cure have got two songs. And of course, after The Cure released Disintegration, Morrissey is quoted in saying, hey, this album gives a new dimension to the word crap. So you can see it's very, very tit for tat throughout the age, and then they're not heard no more until very, very recently in the last 5 years, where both men have been quoted saying, what was it all about? I have no understanding how it came this far and why I said all these things. And Morrissey sort of said, I said some really bad things 35 years ago. That's right, 35 years ago. And of course, they sort of buried the hatchet because life goes on, and life did go on, with of course the Smiths splitting up in the 80s, and then Morrissey having a solo career, and of course The Cure have gone on to bigger and greater things since then. Now, for today's episode, I've chosen two very, very different songs. I've chosen one song from The Smiths, and that is
I am the sun and the air.
The Smiths and How Soon Is Now. What a song that has become representative of the Smiths as time has gone on. And for The Cure, I've chosen
Just like heaven.
Just Like Heaven off the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me album. And this is 100% pure pop. And what a song it is. But let's start off with How Soon Is Now. How Soon Is Now started off ironically as a B-side to William, It Was Really Nothing. And then it popped up in a few albums like Hatful of Hollow. It was a US compilation. It ended up on an Australian version of, let's say, Meter's Murder. And people were drawn to it. There was a big demand in the live shows for How Soon Is Now. And it was finally released as an A-side single in 1985. And it only reached number 24. And then, after the Smiths split up, it was released in 1992 again, and it reached number 16. And Morrissey was a little bit disappointed in saying, why didn't it go higher? And I've read that a lot of people say it was released so many times, on so many albums, and B-side here, that when it was finally given its opportunity, it didn't sort of fulfill its potential because people had heard it or had bought it in so many other ways. But what do I love about this song? I love Morrissey's deadpan vocals. I am the sun and the air of a shyness that is criminally vulgar. I am the sun and air of nothing in particular. Oh my God, it is fantastic. But what steals the show also is Johnny Marr. What a guitarist. Like I said, he inspired so many young guitarists in Britain with his guitar work. But in this case here, he was experimenting with one chord. If you could write a song with using one chord, and what an effect, especially with the tremolo effect. It is iconic. It is haunting. It is, this is why How Soon Is Now has become so representative of the Smiths, even though, a lot of record executives said, no, this doesn't sound like the Smiths. The Smiths don't sound like this. Yet it's become over time, and the two times that I've seen Morrissey live, he does play How Soon Is Now. Okay, so it's a fantastic song. Now, I think after it's been recognised also, like NME, the music magazine in Britain, did a top 500 songs, and of course being very British centred, it was ranked at number 4 in 2014's top 500 songs. Even Rolling Stone magazine, the top 500, a few years ago, maybe a decade ago, had it in the top 500 songs of all time. So How Soon Is Now, what a great song. Like I said, haunting, but beautiful at the same time, and it inspired so many guitarists after that. Now let's move on to Just Like Heaven, The Cure. Now this is beautiful. Now the Cure are really known for this bipolar type of sound. Yes, they've got this haunting music, that's really deep and can be depressing, but then they've got some beautiful light-hearted songs. So it's a balance. Maybe not bipolar, maybe yin and yang. How about that? That's even better. The yin and the yang. This balance between something very moody and something very happy, and this falls into the happy category. Now Robert Smith had the music to this as an instrumental, and it was asked by L'Enfant du Rock, the French music program, and he supplied them with this music. And he didn't have lyrics, but he had a trip to the seaside with his girlfriend, who then became his wife, Mary Poole, and this visit to the sea inspired him to write this beautiful love song called Just Like Heaven. And it is structurally, it is magnificent, because it starts off with the bass and the drums, the acoustic guitar comes in, the synthesizer, this dreamy synthesizer comes in also, and then the electric guitar. And right at the minute mark or so, you've got Robert Smith coming in with show me how you do that trick. And it is beautiful, it is a beautiful song. It's dreamy, spinning on that dizzy edge. Yes, of course, he's truly in love with Mary Poole. So pure pop. Again, this has been recognised as a fantastic song. Robert Smith says it's probably the best pop song he's ever written, and that's a big call from Robert Smith, admitting that. Now, magazines have also recognised it, like Rolling Stone magazine, the top 500, that's in it also. This was the first single that made it in the US for The Cure. So a lot of Americans remember The Cure for this song, because this was their first song to make it in the charts. So you've got two very, very different, or very, very different, as in pop sounding, and very, very alternative. The Cure, the Smiths. Tell us what you think. Were you a Cure fan? Were you a Smiths fan? Did you like both, like me? But anyway, so we'll see you tomorrow with another rivalry. Don't forget, to like us on our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep those comments coming through, as well as sharing these episodes with your friends. And like I said, we're going to close off the week with another rivalry, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.